Hi, I'm Towin. So, it's been a bit under 2 months since the first patch video for the Shiny Professor Oak challenge, and a bit under 5 months since I started this thing. Like last time, this video is to commemorate that I caught every shiny Pokemon before the second batch. If you haven't watched the first part, I will really recommend for you to do that, since it'll help to follow along. Also, just to be clear, this isn't going to be a compilation of the previous videos, but it's going to be me narrating what I caught, how many encounters it took, and some parts of the story. Hopefully, this also works as a guide in case that you want to start your own Shiny Professor Oak challenge. If you want to see the details on how this challenge works, you can see the description of the video. Or in short, I have to catch every single Pokemon before the designated batch, in this case the second one, and they all have to be shiny. After getting the first batch, I make my way to Dewford Town, where most of the encounters are waiting alongside one very useful item, the Old Rod. Now, I could go in two different directions. I can either start with the fishing encounters, or go to Granite Cave. I choose the latter and start doing horde battles. With this method, I can either get Zubat, Makuhita, or Geodude, the last one appearing alongside Makuhita. It didn't take long for me to find my first shiny, as it only took 244 horde battles for me to find a shiny Zubat. I decide to add it to my team and evolve it later when it gets enough friendship to evolve immediately into Crobat. I continue doing horde battles to raise the death snap levels of both Makuhita and Geodude, not really expecting much since, if you remember from the last part, my luck with horde battles isn't the best. However, after only 124 more horde battles, I found a shiny Makuhita. This one doesn't need friendship, so I evolve it into Hariyama at level 24. Because Geodude is pretty rare on horde battles, I switched to doing death snap. While searching for it, I decided to evolve Zubat since I thought it was the time for him. Unfortunately, I accidentally deleted the footage for the evolution. So, just know that I evolved it into Golbat at level 22, and with enough friendship into Crobat with one more level. Continuing with the search for Geodude, after 369 death snap encounters, I found a shiny one. I then evolved it into Graveler at level 25. Because I can't trade, since the rules of the challenge don't allow it, I can't get Golem. After that, I went for the last Pokemon on Granite Cave, Abra. However, he was being really troublesome to find. And something that I didn't mention is that death snap encounters outside of grass are a nightmare. The way they work on things like caves, buildings, or surfing is that when you have a Pokemon on death snap, if you don't fight it after a couple of seconds, it moves away. So you have to chase it around until you run into it. If you take too long, it'll run away. You think that's bad? Well, it gets worse. After a chain of 5, instead of moving every couple of seconds, it moves like every 2 seconds. So it's more likely for you to accidentally stop sneaking and start walking, or to take too long, which makes it run away. Oh, you thought that was it? Granite Cave has a very small area. That means that triggering a death snap encounter is more rare, which means that it takes way longer than in more open areas. And if you get really unlucky, your death snap encounter can go from the lower area to the upper floor, an area which needs the Mach Bike to access. I did 500 encounters before getting bored and go for the fishing encounters. There's 3 Pokemon that you can get at this point in the game by fishing. Goldeen, which you can fish on Route 102 or Petalburg City. Tentacool, which you can fish on Route 103, 106, 107 or Dewford Town. And Magikarp, which is Magikarp. I first go to Petalburg to try and get Goldeen. Now, chain fishing works so that each time you reel a Pokemon in, your chances of getting a shiny are higher. That's called a chain. The best strat is to get a Pokemon with Sticky Hold or Suction Cups as an ability to have better odds at reeling a Pokemon in. However, I don't have access to a Pokemon like that until after the second batch. So my chains last at best until 5. And the best odds are at over 30 Pokemon chained. So even though I still get better odds than regular encounters, the process takes a long time. But after a while, I get a shiny Magikarp after 686 fishing encounters. I then evolve it into Gyarados at level 20. Unfortunately, that means that I have now a 30% chance, not counting the shiny odds, of getting a shiny that I need, since Magikarp is more common than Goldeen or Tentacool. I get lucky, however, and find a shiny Goldeen after 274 fishing encounters. I evolve it into Seeking at level 33 and move back to Dewford Town to get my last fishing Pokemon. After getting there, I moved to the right to Route 107 since I didn't know that I could also get Tentacle in there. After fishing for a while, I get the shiny Tentacle after 182 encounters and evolve it into Tentacruel at level 30. The only Pokemon left is Abra on Granite Cave, so I go back and keep trying for some time. As a side note, to prevent Abra from running away with Teleport, I led with Breloom with Spore, a 100% accuracy sleeping move, and after a total of 628 Death Snap encounters, I finally got the shiny Abra. I then evolved it into Kadabra at level 16, and like with Graveler into Golem, I can't get Alakazam since trades aren't allowed. Now, for those who have never played the Hoenn remakes or haven't touched them in a while, you might be wondering why I haven't skipped the second gym and go straight to Watson. And the answer to that is that to get to Watson, you have to deliver the letter to Steven. But there's a group of people blocking the way to him until you defeat Broly. Probably because they realized that a lot of players skip this part. That means that I got every shiny before the second batch after 13,056 encounters and 2,507 for this section. It may be more or less, since I may have missed some and I didn't count encounters without the purpose of shiny hunting. The only thing left is to go and challenge Broly for the second batch. He leads with Machop and I send my shiny Gyarados. I use Tackle to bring him to half and he lowers my defense with Leer, so the next turn I KO him. Last is the Ace Makuhita. Tackle does 2/3 and he sets up a bulk up to raise his attack and defense. Thanks to this, a final tackle defeats him, finishing pre-batch 2. If you want to see more of my content, you can check my solo runs playlist, that's on screen. Or, if you want to see something more like what you just watched, you can check my Shiny Professor Oak playlist, that's on screen. Anyways, that's all I have for now. See ya!